So the start of every season now with Helsingborg, hopefully, anyway, will be a bit different because we are halfway through the Europa League. It is the 1st of February 2027. The transfer window has opened for us. Our regular season has not begun, but we have played 2 matches in between last season and this season. And those were a 2-2 draw against Brann and a 4-1 win against Legia, which means in the Europa Conference League we have finished 5th place in the table, with the likes of Freiburg, Napoli, Chelsea and Monaco the only teams ahead of us in that table. It means we do have a bit more of a European adventure today. But being the start of the season, lots of transfer business has already happened. Taylor Silverholt has left the club on a free transfer after his contract expired. He was out on loan in Australia for the latter part of last season. I just don't think we were ever going to play him. Other players to leave as well. Luis Garcia, the player that we signed a couple of years ago, has left. He has gone to La Serena in his native Chile. And then a bunch of youngsters have also left the club, and we've hopefully kept them in Sweden. Adrian Svanbach has gone to Ilves. They're not even Swedish, they're Finnish. Bergstrand has gone to AFK Varnamo. And Ivica Dobrasanovic, might be his name, has gone to Albright on a permanent deal. We have also brought in a bunch of players, and I think we've broken our record transfer. Starting with the free transfers, initially 3 of them coming in. John Robin Skjellen, might be his name, 19-year-old Norwegian central defender. I'm going to maybe try and look to loan this guy out for a couple of years because I don't think he's ready yet, but at 19, he's going to be pretty good, hopefully. Signing from Glen Turan is Northern Irish central defender Robert Collins. He's rubbish. I literally went on scouts. My scout said he's good. And I went, I'm not too convinced, but he was free and he was willing to come over to Sweden. So Robert Collins has come in. We're going to stick him on the development list. Hopefully he can go out and get some game time elsewhere because he's certainly not getting it for us. And the final free transfer is a very good one. Solon Breki Vilmjalsen, might be his name, an Icelandic right winger and or striker signed from Breidablik, who actually didn't technically come from there. He got released and then we picked him up on a free transfer. He scored 12 goals in 19 appearances last season apparently. And he's come in, and I think he's going to walk straight into the first team, probably on that right wing. Now, moving up in value for £3.6 thousand, we've gone over to FC Nordsjælland in Denmark and signed Oliver Phil. His name's not Phil, but it's kind of Phil, so we're going to call him Oliver Phil. I think he's also going to walk straight into the first team on the left-hand side. We've also jumped over to England to sign a Welsh striker from Brentford, Jack Jones, 18 years of age Welsh striker. He has cost, I think, £16,000. Absolute bargain, if you ask me, because I think he looks quite good. He's got some very good technical numbers for an advanced forward, which is what we do play. I'm hoping Jack Jones might become one of our better players in a couple of years' time. Once again, he's going to go on the development list to hopefully loan him out for a season. And then our most expensive transfer, or was our most expensive transfer, William Kastrup, a 22-year-old Danish left-back, has joined from Nyogbing, could be their name. He signed on a free transfer and we spent £325,000 on him to bring him over to Sweden, but I think we needed a decent left-back, and I think William is that man. And then for £375,000, we have signed Chilean striker Gabriel Harding, signed from Curicó Undio, might be their name. He's cost a lot of money. I'm not convinced it was a good idea, but I think he's probably one of our best strikers now. We obviously have not got Torrentius anymore. He's gone back from his loan deal, so we needed a new striker. Harding is probably going to be that man, although Jones could do a job. So that is the transfer business so far. Financially, we've got £7.8 million to spend and a little bit of a wage budget. We can rearrange some stuff if we feel like we need to do it. We are also, if we have a look at transfers very quickly, if we look at, I think, loan deals from last season, so Torrentius, obviously, he is no longer here. He has gone back to PSG, and I did try and loan him again, and they want stupid money for him, £1 million for a season, which I don't want to do. So obviously we are in the Swedish Cup as well, and I have realised the Swedish Cup does not actually finish in pre-season. Everything up until the final is pre-season. So we're going to go forward to the end of our transfer window. We're going to see whether we've made it to the final of the Swedish Cup. I don't believe we're going to have any Europa Conference League games just yet. We can actually double check. We might have some Europa Conference League games. Maybe the round of 16. We'll have to see what happens there. And then obviously the league will hopefully, or maybe just about begin as well. Don't think it does begin. I think it begins just after the window shuts. I want to have another good season. I want to get into Europe. That needs to be the goal every single season from this point on. Although I don't think we're quite there yet. Right then, the 29th of March is here. 4 players have left the club on permanent deals. Gustav Pettersson is the first one going over to Brommapojkana, might be their name, for £5,000. Also going to IF Bromwich-Povkana. Again, not their name at all, but it is Richard King, the Jamaican international. He has gone over for not a lot of money, 9.75. But I think we might have had to pay some money, I'm not quite sure. But I'm kind of happy that he's staying in Sweden. He wasn't good enough for us, but the fact that he's going over to another Swedish side and actually already getting game time, that's pretty good news. Another Jamaican international has also left the club. Vassillans have picked up Joshua Anglin. He played a few times. I thought he was going to be better than what he actually was. He's gone for £10,000, which again, it's not a lot of money, but the fact that he's staying in Sweden is very good news. And we've also sold somebody for probably too much money. And it's not who you were thinking. Johan Murbeck has gone to BK Häcken. So he came through in our technically first youth intake, but he came in at the start of the save game. He's gone for £925,000, potentially going up to £1.2 million for a player who came through a fake youth intake, who's not going to be any much better than 130 potential, which I think is probably, he's close to that now. So for a 19-year-old, it sounds like a silly bit of business to do, but I don't think he's going to get much better. Joining the club then, two new players. William Milanovic is a 24-year-old Serbian defence midfielder signed from GAIS, obviously in Sweden. I don't want to keep doing this, but until we are kind of regularly winning the league, we will keep signing players from other Swedish sides. £160,000 for hopefully a very good, maybe rotation central defender. And I thought, because they've nicked a couple of our players, it's only right that we do the same to Bromwich-Povkana. And that is Charlie Nilden has joined, a 20-year-old defensive midfielder. He's cost £275,000. He's played 25 times last season for them, so he's getting game time. Again, much like the last guy, I think he's going to be a good sort of rotation player, but at only 20 years old, he's got plenty of time to develop, so I'm kind of happy with this one. Not that I was unhappy with the other one, by the way. I was happy with Milanovic, but Nilden, I think, is a better bit of transfer business to do. Also, loan deals. Jack Jones has gone on loan to Vassillans, joining Anglin. We've also loaned out, who else? Robert Collins has gone on loan to IFK Malmo. This could be very, very helpful, getting some game time there. Nick Pohl, I think, came through one of our youth intakes a couple of years ago. He's going to hopefully get some game time as well. Emir Kovac, a player, again, came through one of our youth intakes, but actually does look quite good. He's going to get some game time. Are they in the second division? They're in the second division. So I think I've got high hopes for this guy. Emir Kovac could be good. When it comes to the Swedish Cup, we have gone through the group stage, winning the group against Vassillans, Varbergs and Jonkoping Södra. We have won all three of our games, beating a 1-0, a 4-1 and a 3-1. Then, if we move forward to the second round, quarterfinal, there you go, we lose to IFK Gothenburg. So, we're out of that competition. In the Europa Conference League, we do manage to get past the round of 16. We drew SK Rapid from Austria, and we beat them 4-3 on aggregate. Yes, we did lose the first leg. We did lose it 2-1, but we won the second leg 3-1, which means we do go through, and we are playing, you can already see there, we're playing Monaco in the quarterfinal. I'm not really expecting much from this, but a bigger piece of news, Djurgårdens are also in the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League. So they managed to get past Başakşehir from Turkey last season. How did they do? I mean, some good wins. A 4-1, a 2-0 against Real Betis. Some very good wins. They seem to play the same teams that we play, though, which is a bit odd. So we're not going to check it just yet, but once we hit the mid-season point, which is when the regular European season ends, we will take a look at the coefficients to see how well we've done for the season. Because the season runs from from sort of June to May time. So we need to check between June and May what's happened to our kind of coefficients. Anyway, that's the transfer business that we've done this season. From a starting lineup perspective, we are not locking in anybody at all. If we have a look at the squad planner and do best 11, Jolison as our number one goalkeeper. I'm worried that he's not going to get any better. He's very good, but I'm worried he's not going to get any better. We've got Julva, who turned into a very good centre-back, and he's wanted by some bigger boys, which means he's probably going to be leaving. Matson in defence as well. I think that was a very good transfer that we did a couple of seasons ago, or last season maybe. Who else have we got? They reckon Harding is our number one striker. I'm not convinced, okay? This is where I'm concerned. I'm wondering whether we put Vilmilson up front instead, because he can play there. He can do the job. That might be what we need to do, but that's not what we're going to do now. We're going to jump forward then to the mid-season when our transfer window opens, where we can check the coefficients, and hopefully we'll be second in the table. Probably not top. Judging from the season preview, 6th is where they think we'll be. Let's go. Or we will be second place in the table. Fair enough. We are a fair distance. What is that? 8 points behind Djurgårdens, but we are second place in the league. Top goal scorer in the league as well is Vilmilson. Has he been playing up front? He's been playing up front and on the wing. He's kind of been chopping and changing, which I'm okay with. I'm happy with that. He's getting better as well. That is what we like to see. In the Europa League, we did get knocked out immediately by Monaco, losing 4-1 on aggregate, so we lost both legs. However, interestingly, Djurgården did manage to get past Alkmaar, and then got knocked out by Chelsea in the semi-final. Also, transfer window has opened a few days ago for the rest of Europe. We have already sold a player. John Berkveld has gone over to Lecco in Italy, I believe. Yep, and he's gone for not a lot of money, £31,000. Yes, he was playing a lot, by the way, but that was last season, technically. I kind of replaced him. We don't need him anymore. So just before we take a look at the coefficients, financially for this transfer window, we've got £7.8 million to spend. If we are going to do any business, though, we are going to have to move some money around into our wage budget, which is perfectly fine, because if we have a look, we can move quite a lot and still have £2.4 million to spend. So yeah, we'll have a look at that throughout the transfer window, but let's take a look at the coefficients. So we are currently 13th place. So we have, obviously, we've moved up because we've had a very good season, 14.75 points last year, thanks to our escapades, I can only assume, and obviously Djurgården's as well. We have got to lose this 4.625 in Season 7. So Season 7 needs to be a very good year. Season 6 needs to be a pretty decent one. Sorry, Season 6 needs to be a good year. Season 5, which is this season, needs to be a pretty good one as well. We are climbing. This is good to see. And because we are 13th, we are not quite at the level where we want to be, which is 10th, where basically the league winners go straight into the Champions League group stage. But we are slowly working our way up. A couple of good years in Europe will certainly help out. And you can see there as well, the Swedish Premier Division has jumped from 21st to 16th in the European rankings. So we are climbing that up nice and quickly. I'd love to be sort of 8th. If we can be on the edge of like the elite leagues in Europe, that would be very good. Obviously still a long way to go. We've got, Denmark, Serbia, Switzerland, Greece, Scotland, Austria, Turkey and Belgium ahead of us at the moment, but I'd love to be in that top 8, but obviously fair few seasons to go. Let's jump forward to the end of our transfer window, see what business we have done. There will almost certainly be a lot of business. I think we might be losing a couple of big name players. 7 players have joined the club and a few players have left, and of those 7, some of them are returning on loan deals. Carl Ming is not one of them. He has left. He's gone over to Rakow in Poland for £27,000. Ryan Johnson has moved over to Silkeborg. He's also not coming back. He's gone for £71,000. And Victor Anderson Wangborg, it's not his name. He's moved over to Albright for £1,300. However, the next players have left for big money and come back. 2 of them, in fact. George Osorio is the first one. He's moved over to PSG, returning on loan. £1.4 million. There is, I don't think there's a sell-on in there, actually. He had a £1.4 million minimum fee release, which we basically could not get rid of, and I think he's just gone for that. So we're getting no more money for Osorio, which is not good. However, we have conned Arsenal, and I don't know how we've done this. Eloy Julve has gone to Arsenal, as we've just mentioned, and returned on a loan deal until the end of the season. He has gone for £9.5 million plus some sell-ons as well. Now, the reason why we've conned them is because I accepted £3 million and the board went, it's not enough. We want 3.5. So I went, okay, offer him 3.5. And then loads of teams came in with £9.5 million offers. And I don't know what happened. So I'm just going to shake your hand very quickly and just get that deal done. So £9.5 million for Julve. He's returned until the end of the season. We're going to miss him because I think he's a very good player for us. But £9.5 million goes a long way. And I'm hoping some of that way is to improving our youth recruitment, junior coaching and things like that, which we'll need to try and do in time. Right now, the board has said no, but I think we're getting closer. Joining the club then, we have Christos Gravius, the 29-year-old Greek international with 2 caps to his name. He's joined from Panathinaikos, might be their name, in Greece. Like I said, 2 caps. He's got 2 international caps, which is good. He's a defensive midfielder. Well, that's where we're going to be playing him. Probably not one of the first names on the team sheet, but certainly definitely starting quite a lot of matches. Ivica Tomas Kovac is next up, an 18-year-old Croatian midfielder and right winger, which is obviously where we're going to be playing him. I'm going to hopefully try and loan him out. Obviously, the transfer window has closed, but next season we're going to hopefully get him out on loan for a season playing somewhere else in Sweden. Might get some game time this year. Who knows? We've also brought in a new striker because Harding, I don't think, was really doing the job. So, Shinosuke Kinoshita is a 23-year-old Japanese striker signed from Osaka. Is that Gamba Osaka? I'm not quite sure. It's Cerezo Osaka for £190,000. I think he looks quite good. I did buy him because he was Japanese, and, you know, Japanese sometimes kind of gives you a boost in finances and whatnot, but he's also a decent player, so I'm okay with that. Hugo Silva has joined on loan from FC Porto, who are now our feeder club, our senior feeder club. I'm not expecting a lot from him, but he's come in on a free. Well, technically, we're not paying any wages. And the best player is Kore Bingöl, an 18-year-old Turkish international signed from Fenerbahce on a free transfer, and he's amazing. And I don't know why nobody picked him up. He's going to be here for one season, if that. He might even leave in January, we never know. But Bingöl is in, and I brought him in. If you look, I brought him in a few days after the transfer, and technically brought him in today. I wasn't expecting to get this guy. He was just sat there on a free, and I found him after the window shut and went, can I buy him now, please? And yeah, he wanted to join. So yeah, Kinoshita, probably not going to play for us this season, which kind of sucks. Same with Gabriel Harding, because basically he's not scoring a lot of goals anyway. So yeah, Bingöl might be our lead striker for the rest of the season. Which isn't a lot, but we are currently sat second place in the table, 46 points. What is that? 4, 5, 6, 7 points behind Djurgårdens. It looks like a 2-horse race, or 3-horse race, sorry, Gothenburg as well, also in this one. But I feel like Djurgårdens are almost certainly going to just be running away with this one. And at the end of the season, yes, they have won the league. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8 points clear. We have finished second place, which importantly is a Champions League spot. It's a qualifying round spot, but it's a Champions League spot, which means when it rolls round to sort of May, June, July time next season, we will be in Champions League qualifiers. This season, however, because of what happened the previous season, we are not in Europe. So we've only got one thing to focus on for the first half of next season, which is basically doing as well as we can in the Swedish Premier Division. Maybe doing well in the Swedish Cup as well. That would be nice. Maybe we can try and win it. I feel like it's never going to happen, but we are into the second round. At the end of this season as well, we will probably be saying goodbye to players like Milan Silva Rasmussen, who's been here since the start of the save. He's just going to run out his contract. Ilanes as well is already leaving, signing for San Lorenzo. Benjamin Orn is leaving, signing for Varnamo, a player who I quite liked, but I feel like we've outgrown him. Julva and Osorio will also be returning to their parent clubs. Julva, the fact that we've got £9.5 million from him is just ridiculous, but I am not going to complain, because our bank balance is now £17.78 million with nearly £12 million transfer budget to spend. That's going to do it for this season. Next year then, partially Champions League, but I just want to do well in the league. I want to try and win the actual league. We haven't managed to do that just yet. In this save, we've come second 3 times now, out of 4 in the Swedish Premier Division. Can we finally win the league, or are we going to have another season where we're going to just randomly drop down to mid-table?